There's a painful truth that most women discover too late. A man doesn't miss you just because you loved him deeply, or because you were always there for him. He only starts missing you when something inside him wakes up, when you stop chasing, when your energy shifts, when your silence speaks louder than your words. That's when he begins to feel your absence in a way that confuses him, frustrates him, and eventually consumes him. Men don't process emotions the same way women do. When you miss someone, you feel it instantly. Your heart aches, you want to reach out to talk, to fix things. But for him, it's different. He can go days, even weeks, thinking he's fine without you. He'll convince himself he's moved on. He'll distract himself, go out with friends, scroll through social media pretending he's free. But then, suddenly, something hits him. A memory, a smell, a random song, and it feels like a wave crashing in his chest. That's when he realizes he lost something rare. You see, a man only feels the real weight of your absence when you awaken 3 emotional triggers that go far beyond attraction, beauty, or even love. They are psychological switches hidden deep inside his mind. And when they're activated, no distance, no silence, and no new woman can replace what he feels for you. But here's the truth most women never understand. If you keep giving, explaining, chasing, or trying to prove your worth, those triggers never get activated. Because the more available you are, the safer he feels. And when a man feels too safe, he stops valuing what he has. It's human nature. We don't crave what we think we can always have. So when you pull back, not out of anger, but out of self-respect, he starts feeling something unfamiliar, the loss of your emotional presence. That's when the confusion begins. He'll check your profile more often, wonder if you're seeing someone, replay old conversations trying to find where he lost you. And little by little, that emotional void turns into obsession. This video isn't about playing games or pretending to be someone you're not. It's about understanding the psychological patterns that make a man emotionally connect and realize your true value. Because when you know what actually triggers his attachment, you stop begging for attention and start controlling the dynamic silently, without ever saying a word. By the end of this video, you'll finally understand why some women walk away and suddenly become unforgettable. Why she can disappear from his life and months later, he's still thinking about her, wondering if she ever thinks about him too. So stay until the end, because I'm going to reveal the 3 emotional triggers that make a man truly miss you. Not temporarily, not because he's lonely, but because his heart and mind start realizing that no one makes him feel the way you did. Let me tell you a story that perfectly explains how these emotional triggers work. There was a woman named Julia. She was kind, confident, and she loved deeply, maybe too deeply. When she met Daniel, she felt something rare, something real. From the very beginning, she gave everything. Her time, her affection, her patience. She wanted to be his peace, his safe place, his motivation. She would send good morning texts, check on him when he was quiet, encourage him when he felt down. She thought that the more love she gave, the more he would love her back. At first, Daniel seemed all in. He called her every night, made plans, said all the right things. But as months went by, Julia started noticing small changes. His messages got shorter, his calls less frequent, and his tone colder. He began using excuses like, "I've been busy," or "I just need some space." And even though he never said it directly, Julia felt the distance growing. Like most women, she panicked. She tried harder. She asked what was wrong, offered to talk, tried to fix what she didn't even understand. But the more she reached out, the further he drifted, until one day he simply said, "I think I need time to figure myself out." And just like that, he was gone. Julia was devastated. She couldn't sleep, couldn't eat, and couldn't stop wondering what she did wrong. Every day she checked her phone, hoping for a message that never came. She saw him posting stories, smiling, living his life like nothing had happened. It was torture. Weeks passed and then months. Slowly, she stopped reaching out. She started focusing on herself again. New habits, new friends, a new routine. She didn't do it to make him jealous. She did it because she was tired of feeling invisible. She stopped waiting for closure and began building a life without him in it. And that's when everything changed. Out of nowhere, Daniel texted her. It started with something simple. "Hey, how have you been?" She ignored it at first. Then another message. "I miss you." Suddenly, he wanted to talk, to catch up, to see her again. But what confused Julia was that she hadn't done anything. She didn't beg. She didn't chase. She didn't even try to make him regret losing her. So why did he come back? Because those three emotional triggers had finally been awakened. When she stopped feeding his ego and removed her emotional presence, the silence became unbearable for him. The same woman he took for granted suddenly became a mystery again, and that mystery made him feel something he hadn't felt in months. Desire mixed with nostalgia, regret, and curiosity. This is what most women don't realize. When you pull your energy back, you force him to confront the emptiness he created. At first, he'll resist it. He'll try to fill it with distractions, with other people, with work. But nothing works. Because the kind of connection he had with you wasn't about comfort. It was about emotion. And emotion leaves a trace. So when Julia stopped trying to prove her worth, she unknowingly triggered the first spark of realization in Daniel's mind, that she was gone, and that no one else could give him that same feeling. That's when missing her stopped being a thought and became a constant ache. And that's what we're going to break down next. How exactly these emotional triggers work, why they flip the switch in a man's mind, and what you can do, without manipulation, to make him feel your absence in the most powerful way possible. Now let's break down the three emotional triggers that make a man truly miss you, not for a moment, but in a way that stays with him long after you've walked away. The first emotional trigger is the loss of emotional certainty. Most women think men crave peace, support, and stability. And while that's partly true, there's something deeper happening in his psychology. A man gets emotionally addicted to a woman when she provides emotional stimulation, not constant comfort. When he always knows you'll text back, that you'll forgive him, that you'll be there no matter what, he stops feeling the excitement, the uncertainty, the emotional spark that creates attachment. When you pull back, calmly and quietly, you disrupt that pattern. He no longer knows how you feel. He starts wondering if you still think about him, if you've moved on, or if he lost his place in your life for good. That uncertainty creates a mental loop he can't escape from, because now instead of you chasing clarity, he's the one seeking it. He'll start noticing your silence. He'll reread old messages, remembering the way you used to make him feel. That small shift, from emotional certainty to emotional doubt, is what starts the process of missing you. You become unpredictable again, and that unpredictability reawakens attraction. The second emotional trigger is ego disruption. Whether he admits it or not, every man has an ego that quietly depends on your attention. It's not always about love, it's about validation. When you constantly text, check in, or show concern, he feels powerful. Your emotional energy feeds his sense of control. But when you stop giving that validation, when you go quiet, stop reacting, stop explaining, he feels something he's not used to feeling: powerlessness. And that's when his mind begins to spiral. He'll start asking himself questions he never asked before. Why isn't she reaching out? Did she meet someone else? Was she pretending to care? His ego gets bruised, and that bruise quickly turns into obsession. Because now, your silence threatens the image he built of himself as someone you couldn't live without. That's why sometimes, after weeks or months of ignoring you, he suddenly appears again. Not because he's ready to love you right, but because he can't stand feeling replaced. You triggered his ego, and now he needs to prove to himself that he still matters to you. But here's where your real power lies. When you stay calm and detached, when you don't give him the reaction he expects, you teach him a lesson his ego can't ignore, that your value doesn't depend on his attention. That's when the missing turns into regret. The third emotional trigger is emotional imprint. This is the deepest one. The reason why, no matter how much time passes, some men never forget certain women. It's not about what you did for him, or how you looked. It's about how you made him feel. When a woman connects emotionally in a way that makes a man feel both safe and challenged, she leaves an emotional imprint in his subconscious mind. Even if he dates someone else, even if he tries to move on, his brain keeps replaying the emotional experience you gave him. The warmth, the comfort, the excitement, the peace. But the catch is this: he only recognizes that imprint when it's gone. When you withdraw your presence, he starts feeling the absence of that emotional energy. It's like his world lost color. Everything else feels dull compared to what you once gave him. That's why so many men come back months later saying, "I didn't realize what I had." Because it's not the relationship they miss. It's the emotional experience you created for them. You see, men don't fall in love with women who are always available. They fall in love with women who can make them feel something unique, and who are not afraid to take that feeling away when they are not respected. That's what makes him see you differently. That's what makes him miss you in a way that no one else can replace. So when you stop chasing, stop explaining, and stop overgiving, you're not being cold, you're resetting the dynamic. You're letting him feel the emotional consequences of losing access to your energy. And ironically, that's when he starts feeling closer to you than ever before. Because missing someone isn't about distance, it's about emotional scarcity. The less he feels your energy, the more he realizes how much it meant to him. That's the moment he begins to replay everything. The little moments, the inside jokes, the late night talks, the times you stood by him. Every memory becomes sharper because he's finally feeling the void. And once that void grows strong enough, he can't help but look for you. Not just out of nostalgia, but out of emotional need. You've become the emotional standard his heart compares every new woman to. Now that you understand how these emotional triggers work, there's something important you need to realize. If you don't use them wisely, the same energy that could make a man miss you can also make him forget you. Because when a man doesn't feel emotional consequences, he gets comfortable. He assumes you'll always be there. He assumes you'll always forgive, always reach out, always care more than he does. And when that happens, his mind doesn't see you as a priority anymore. You become part of the background, familiar, predictable, safe. That's why so many women stay stuck in relationships where they're constantly giving, waiting, hoping, and getting nothing in return. Because the more you overextend yourself emotionally, the less value your presence has in his mind. He starts to believe your love is unconditional no matter what he does. And that's when respect quietly disappears. Men respect emotional boundaries far more than they respect words. When you say you're done but still respond to his late-night texts, he learns that your limits are flexible. When you say you won't chase but you check on him anyway, he knows you'll come back. It's only when you follow through, when your silence becomes consistent, that he begins to feel the pressure. That pressure is what creates urgency in his mind. You see, men rarely change out of comfort. They change when they feel the loss. When a man realizes your energy, your softness, your attention, all of it, are no longer accessible to him, he begins to panic quietly. He won't always show it, but you'll feel it in the way he suddenly starts testing if you still care. He might text you something random, try to make you jealous, or post subtle things online hoping you'll react. It's not love yet, it's emotional withdrawal. And here's the truth, the longer you stay silent, the more his brain associates that discomfort with the idea of losing you. And that's exactly what makes him start to value what he ignored before. But there's a reason most women never get to that point, and they break the silence too soon. When the anxiety of waiting becomes unbearable, when the nights feel too long, they reach out just to feel some kind of relief. But that relief always comes with a price, because the moment you give him what he wants, reassurance, he relaxes again. He tells himself, she still cares, she's still there, and the cycle starts all over. You don't need to disappear forever to make a man miss you. You just need to be consistent with your boundaries. Stop explaining what you deserve. Show it with your absence. Stop proving your loyalty to someone who hasn't earned it. If he doesn't feel the difference between your presence and your absence, then your energy has become too easy to access. And that's when you lose emotional power. When a woman starts respecting her own energy, something powerful happens. She stops chasing love and starts attracting it. She stops begging for attention and starts inspiring it. And that's when the right men, the ones who are emotionally mature, start showing up differently. But the ones who only wanted control, validation, or comfort, they'll slowly fade away. And that's a blessing, not a loss. Because the man who truly values you won't wait until you're gone to realize your worth. He'll feel it every day, in the way you carry yourself, in the way you respect your own boundaries, in the way you no longer tolerate emotional crumbs. So if you've been waiting for a sign to stop chasing, to stop overgiving, to stop explaining your worth, this is it. The more you hold your ground, the more powerful your silence becomes. And the more powerful your silence becomes, the more unforgettable you are. You don't need to be loud to make a man miss you. You just need to be absent in the right way, emotionally detached, energetically centered, and completely unpredictable. Because the greatest regret a man will ever feel is realizing too late that the woman who once gave him everything no longer needs him at all. Now you understand something most women never realize. A man doesn't miss you when you're constantly available. He misses you when your absence reminds him of everything he took for granted. He doesn't fall for endless love or attention. He falls for emotional impact, the kind that lingers long after you stop speaking to him. So if you've ever wondered why some women seem unforgettable, it's not because they were prettier, sexier, or more interesting. It's because they mastered emotional distance. They knew when to walk away. They knew how to create space, not to punish, but to protect their peace. And in that space, men finally had the room to feel. When you stop trying to control the outcome, you shift the energy completely. You go from, I need him to choose me, to he needs to prove he deserves me. And that change, that calm confidence, is what makes you magnetic. The truth is, every man meets at least one woman who awakens something inside him that no one else can reach. But not every man gets to keep her. And when you start living from self-worth instead of fear, you become that woman, the one he never forgets. He might move on. He might date someone else. He might even convince himself he's over you. But deep down, he'll always feel that something's missing. It's not your voice, your face, or your body. It's the emotional depth that only you brought into his life. The feeling of being truly seen, understood, and inspired. That's the kind of connection a man never gets twice. So stop waiting for him to realize it, because the more you wait, the less he feels the urgency to do so. Focus that energy on yourself, your growth, your peace, your confidence. Let him feel the silence that once was filled with your love. Let him wonder if he'll ever find that same warmth again. And when he finally realizes what he lost, you won't even need to prove your worth, because you'll already be living it. Here's what I want you to remember. Emotional detachment isn't coldness. It's power. It's the moment you stop negotiating for love and start embodying it. The moment you stop chasing, you become the prize. And that's when everything changes. He'll feel it when your energy shifts. He'll notice when you stop explaining yourself. He'll sense when your peace no longer depends on his presence. And that's when the missing begins, deeply, silently, and painfully. So from this moment on, stop asking what you can do to make him miss you. Start asking what you can do to love yourself more deeply, to protect your energy more fiercely, and to never again beg for attention from someone who took your heart for granted. Because when a woman learns to walk away with grace, calm, confident, and silent, she becomes unforgettable. Not because she played games, but because she finally understood her own value. If this message resonated with you, it's not by accident. It's because you were meant to hear it. You were meant to remember your power. You were meant to stop shrinking yourself for someone who never deserved your full presence. So take a breath, lift your head, and remind yourself, the moment you stop chasing, he starts missing. Now, if you found strength in this message, make sure you stay connected, because this space is for women who are done settling, done explaining, and ready to understand the real psychology behind love, desire, and attraction. This is your moment to take your power back, quietly, gracefully, and completely.